The Enchanted Watch.
I was no longer a boy when I returned to the countryside at Boggy Forest. There were only a handful of people left in the village now. Most of the young had gone to the city long ago. Only we, the children of summer, once filled these paths with our bicycles and laughter during the long vacations. Moss spread like green fire across the timber fences. The years had passed, yet the place felt unchanged, as though the land itself had been waiting. The August sun caressed the earth, and the long shadows of the houses stretched across the road, trying to reach the far edge. I told myself I had come to see the lake and to settle the inheritance, the old house my grandmother had left me. It was the same lake I had known as a child, where we caught perch with lines wound round sticks and swam until our lips turned blue in the cold water. But deep inside, I knew there was another reason for my journey, a reason I had carried with me like a stone in my chest for decades. That summer, long ago, we were 3 boys myself, sturdy and good-hearted Patty, and Seamus, the restless one, the spark among us. Seamus laughed louder, rode faster, dared more boldly than either of us. He was a born mischief maker, always searching for secrets. Our bicycles were our wings. We would set out with fishing rods tied to the frames, sandwiches wrapped in paper, and pedal until the light faded. We raced each other past hedgerows, startled flocks of crows from the fields, and sang at the top of our lungs until our voices cracked. "Race you to the oak," Seamus would shout, pumping his legs furiously, hair flying behind him. "You'll break your neck one day," Patty wheezed, always behind but never willing to quit. The lake was our prize, a shimmering sheet of water hidden behind a forest, where dragonflies hovered and trout leapt in quick silver arcs. But to reach it, we had to pass another place. Everyone in the parish knew of it, though no one spoke much. It had been empty for generations. The old people said famine had driven its people to desperate acts, whispered of infants cast into wells, of bargains made in the dark. They would cross themselves and fall silent. For us, the silence was worse than any tale. Every time we cycled that way, we felt it before we saw it. The air colder, the hedges whispering with a voice not quite the wind. We pedaled faster, eyes fixed ahead, until one day, Seamus stopped. He stood astride his bicycle, staring down the narrow lane that led into the woods. The path was almost gone, grass thick as a carpet, nettles leaning across. His eyes shone with delight. "Come on," he said. "Don't you want an adventure?" Patty groaned. "Not me. I'm no fool. You've heard the stories." Seamus only laughed. "Stories? You believe old hen's tales. What's there to fear but nettles and stones?" He glanced at me then, grin burning like a dare. And when he pushed off down the hidden lane, I found myself following. The lane narrowed quickly, weeds scraping at our ankles, silence pressing close. Even the birds had fled. My breath sounded too loud in my ears, and each turn of the wheel felt like trespass. At last, the cottages appeared. They slumped beneath ivy, roofs caved, windows black and hollow. Chimneys leaned, strangled by vines. The air was heavy, like a room sealed too long. I stopped at the edge, hands frozen on the handlebars. But Seamus strode ahead, laughing. "See? No ghosts, no curses, just secrets waiting for us. It's a treasure hunt." He kicked open the nearest door, wood groaning, and vanished inside for a moment, silence. Then he burst out again, triumphant. In his hand gleamed a silver pocket watch, its case catching the sunlight, its chain dangling. "Look at this!" he cried. Proof. If I told the others without something to show, they'd never believe me. But this is real. I shook my head, but he only smirked, tucking the watch into his pocket. We rode on to the lake, but the easy joy was gone. We did not race. We did not sing. We sat on the bank in silence, rods forgotten, staring at the water. Even the dragonflies seemed muted, the world dimmer than before. That night, I dreamed of ticking. Loud, unnatural ticking, as though the watch itself was alive, each second hammering in the dark. The next morning, Seamus did not come, nor the next. After a week, Patty and I went to his aunt's house. She was a sharp, sulky woman with a face like a shut door. "He's sick," she said curtly, blocking the doorway. "You'll not see him." But curiosity gnawed at us. The next day, when she was gone to work, we slipped in. Seamus was in his room, pale as chalk. His eyes darted from corner to corner, following shapes we could not see. "They come at night," he whispered. "Shadows, crawling on the walls. You don't see them." We shook our heads, frightened by the wildness in his eyes. "The watch," he said, clutching the blanket. "I meant to bring it back. I wanted to. But it's gone. It vanished. And now they want me." He buried his face in his hands, trembling. His voice broke. "I thought it was just a game. Just fun. A treasure hunt. I didn't know." We sat helpless, watching our friend unravel. By autumn, he was gone. His aunt said he had been sent to relatives, but no one ever saw him again. Patty and I grew older. We haven't met each other during summer vacation in the village. Time carried us into our own lives. Yet that summer hung behind me like a curtain, never quite drawn. Sometimes I dreamed of Seamus' mouth wide open like screaming, but no sound came out. Sometimes I woke in the night and thought I saw a shadow of Seamus slip across the wall. Years later, my granny has been passed away. I visited Granny's house to handle things, and I decided to visit the lake again. I told myself I wanted to see the lake, but my hands turned the wheel down the overgrown lane, and my heart knew the truth. The village was still there, though more ruined than ever, walls leaning like broken teeth, roofs collapsed, nettles waist high. The silence pressed close, heavy as stone. I walked slowly, as though each step were taken in water. The cottages sagged, their doors half open like mouths that had been screaming for 100 years. The air smelled of damp earth and rot. And then I saw him. Through the shattered window of the first cottage, a pale figure lingered, thin, wasted, eyes dark with despair. Seamus, or what remained of him. His gaze locked on mine, pleading, hopeless, endless. For a heartbeat, we were boys again, bicycles at the crossroads. But the look in his eyes was older than both of us, older than time itself. I could not move, could not breathe. I was watching his silhouette, or what used to be him. And then, as though drawn backward into the shadows, he was gone. I fled, stumbling to my car, driving until the village was nothing but a blur in a mirror. Seamus had sought an adventure, and it had taken him. Never takes what belongs to the dead. I had escaped, but I carried the weight of it still. For some places are not meant to be entered, some objects not meant to be touched, and some friends are lost to more than time.